So I've just been told there's no music. Okay, I'm going to just stop it. All right. But you get the point, right? The point is people are suffering.
Sorry, honey.
The world is rough. Things are going south quick. Nobody seems happy except for the media. And I felt challenged. I felt challenged this week to learn and respect the difference between what is legal and what is right. You have any thoughts on that, Diana?
I'm unmuting now. I was reading what you were going to be discussing, and I was thinking to myself, this cat. I'm sorry, my grandcat loves to visit me while I'm at my desk.
Yes, she
I
does.
think it's a great topic, to be honest, because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding around that.
Well, the thing about it is it's two different worlds. You have
Mhm.
in your walk in this world, you have the secular world, which we are born and raised in. It's
Mhm.
what our government essentially is, despite Christian efforts to claim, oh no, we're a Christian nation. No, technically we're not.
Right.
Technically we're secular.
Mhm.
And so there are considerations that need to be kept in mind when you're dealing with a secular government.
Mhm.
For one, the rule of law isn't the law of Moses. It isn't the Bible. It isn't the New Testament. The rule of law is what men have put together and said, this is what we accept as a community, as a whole, as a nation. And that's fine for governing the nation in the sense that we want freedom, we want equality, we want, all that. But the problem, if you are following Yeshua the Messiah, Jesus Christ, if you're following God, is that not everything legal lines up with what he taught. I'm going to just shut your camera now. I don't want to watch you pet a cat. I know you're brushing her. I feel like you're not even there. You're muted
I muted. You told me to mute, honey.
during the video. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not muted now, and I am listening to you, and I agree. I am listening. You're opening up the conversation.
Yeah. Well, what are you thinking? I don't want to get too far out on a limb without anybody talking.
Um, well, I am thinking that you are correct in saying that we're technically not a Christian nation, although we do have Christians in it. We do have Christian people in the government. It was built, the country was supposedly built on Christian values, correct? So
Well, that's
why
the
don't
claim.
you?
They claim Judeo-Christian values, but I, among others, would gladly argue that it's not really all that Christian if you really put it together. But then again, that depends on your definition of Christianity, doesn't it?
Exactly.
I mean,
You
some
know,
Christians are far more, I guess the word is liberal, and I don't want to use that word because it's a political term these days.
right?
But some Christians are God, all these terms sound terrible, but I don't mean it that way. Some Christians are more loosey goosey with the scriptures, and others are so tight that they are bound to it, like it was a legalistic religion. Like you get
Mhm.
it all throughout both, through the spectrum.
Mhm.
But the thing to me, and I mean, some of the examples are obvious. Okay, like obviously, abortion would be against that which Jesus has taught us. But on the other hand, it is legal. So we have to respect the rule of the land while being true to the Lord.
Mhm.
Um, Same thing with something like gay marriage. It can easily be demonstrated that that is more than likely not God's plan. Uh, but in a secular nation where freedom reigns, it only works if everybody plays along with the law that man has created. So as a believer, and I'm hesitant to call myself Christian because I don't want to be judged by people. I may not be the kind of Christian you are.
Mhm.
Um, but as a believer in the Lord, I think it's our duty to understand the difference, and while still respecting the laws that our nation has, we have to do that through the filter of what Jesus has taught us.
Okay.
And that does look weird when you really think about it, because Jesus wouldn't necessarily go picketing abortion clinics or casting people, he wouldn't necessarily go around telling people they're going to go to hell just to go instigate issues with people. You know what I mean? Like, activist Christianity is sometimes an oxymoron to me, because it's like, okay, you might be right about what you're saying. Like, that's not what the Lord wants for you. But the
Mm-hmm.
way you're saying it is totally screwed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way to deliver the gospel. There's a better way, but people they don't hear that. They think they're actively fighting
Mm-hmm.
for Jesus. The war is already won, guys. Just so you know, the war is won. Everything we're doing, when we think we're fighting for God, is typically fighting for what we actually
Mm-hmm.
want to see. And that's not always the worst thing, but it can be bad.
Well,
I
yeah.
just noticed, and I'm sorry, Gotham Knight is there.
Oh, hey, Gotham.
So let's look a little bit. Granted, we should include God in things, but even if God didn't exist, there should still be a moral ground built within each of us. I mean, abortion is legal, but that doesn't make it right. Amen, brother.
Mm-hmm.
For me, life is important and has meaning. And the thing is, though, if the mother was wanting the child, but someone injures her, the child, that person can be held accountable for death. Yeah, I know I just butchered what you said there, but you're right. They can be held accountable for murder, which kind of makes you wonder how they can then be okay with abortion. Another issue is when they were wanting to make the assisted suicide legal, but again, I don't think that would make it right to do it right. And that's the whole issue. Like, it came to me through the stupid drama that's going on Comicsgate right now with the lolly,
Mm-hmm.
but it applies to everything, and it's really worth looking at. Some things are completely legal, but that doesn't mean that you are required to support or endorse them. Uh, and at the same time, though, and I'm sharing this out there in case you want to
Mm-hmm.
join Gotham. You don't have to. I'm just being liberal with it. But at the same time, like, you have to balance that so that you're not becoming the devil that you hate. You're not becoming the monster that you despise. You know what I'm saying? I know you do, because you've seen me become that monster, Diana. I'm kind of like a werewolf.
Yeah, you
Like,
are.
when I get too deep into my anger, I lose track of who I am in Christ, and I
Mm-hmm.
become who I am in the flesh, and that's an ugly picture. Uh, just like everybody, I'm not trying to sound threatening. It's just anybody, when we turn to our flesh, we become nasty little people. No, I didn't want to say any cuss words there, because particularly, we're returning to our roots in God, chat, and it is significantly different than our other chats. So, I mean, I do want to try to keep it rated G as much as I can.
Well, and it's kind of cool because, like, we are sort of resurrecting God chat, and I've changed my degree, my major, and I'm just bringing this up because the first piece that I submitted to my instructor was about God. It was about me finding Jesus and how he like what that process was like, and my instructor said that he really liked it. He really enjoyed it and thought it was pretty good. And so that just builds that little flame that's already inside of me to write in my creative writing class, to write more about God and how he is perceived in my life and how people perceive him through my life. Um, it just seems that, legal versus right, the topic that it kind of goes into where I'm at right now. Like, what is right and what is legal? And are they the same? If you look at each word, people would say, well, yeah, if I'm legal, I'm right because it's legal, right?
Well, when I was thinking about this question, it was kind of funny, because being the messianic hybrid that I like to claim I am, I bump into that all the time, because there is a legality to the Torah. And I am not a strict Torah follower. So it's almost a little hypocritical of me to look at other people and say, hey, there's a difference between legal and right. But on the other hand, I'm just an empty little person in my head, got a heart full of Jesus, but I'm confused as heck in my head. So I'm just trying to follow the light.
Right.
I'm not a doctor or a professor in doctrine or theology. I am a believer who loves God. That's where it comes from. Just to keep up with Gotham here, he says, yeah, it always seems so easy for us to behave in our flesh versus being decent. Kind of
Hmm.
like the high amount of anger and hate that was directed at even someone like Trump.
Right.
He goes on to say that amount of hate in so many people is more dangerous to those people, and they don't seem to get it or want to get it. And you know
Hmm.
what? That's true too, because what's happened in the nation, and really it happens in arguments from one-on-one all the way up, but
Hmm.
that hatred, it changes you and makes you say and do things and then excuse them, justify them when really you'd be horrified if someone else did that over something else and you
Right.
witnessed. Oh my.
What was that?
Ladies and
Sorry.
gentlemen, this is the solo vocals of my little girl.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh my
Tiny,
God.
Tiny, come here, girl. She's a little chihuahua that wants me to come to the couch and sit with her. Come here, baby. I'll put you on my lap. Come here.
I told them I'd be back.
I
I
know.
said, Mommy will be back in a little bit.
I'm trying to call her, but I don't think she'll come. So what she does is she screams like that and then waits for us to come out and tries to get us to sit with her on the couch.
It has to be on the couch so
Yes.
she can crawl into our laps.
Yep.
But isn't that awful?
Here she
When
comes. Come here.
when we first
Tiny,
got her, our poor neighbors thought we were murdering a child in our home.
come here.
She was traumatized. Anyways, Chris, I wanted to let you know that Jess popped into the Facebook side of
Jess.
yeah, I don't know she can hear you probably,
Hello,
but
Jess.
I wanted to let you know that she was there.
Yeah, it's not showing up in my StreamYard feed, so I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
actually see
open.
her.
Well, I'm open on Facebook, so
So this is the vocalist. This is Miss Tiny. Hi,
let me
Miss
see the
Tiny.
honey,
Yeah.
you have your camera off. Nobody can see her.
My camera's on.
Now it's on. It wasn't before.
You're just in a lag. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But hang on, I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this. It's not going to work. This is what I want. Okay. So Miss Tiny, would you like to tell everybody what you were doing out there?
Tiny
Well,
girl. Tiny.
she can't
Hi,
hear you because I'm
Tiny.
on headphones.
Oh, that's true.
Hi, baby girl. But
Oh,
now I'm going to put her in my lap and try to focus on our conversation. And
yes.
hopefully this will appease her. Let me get out of full mode here. There we go. So where were we, my sweet?
You were talking about what Gotham had posted some things, and you were talking about that before Tiny went off
Yeah,
into her
we were
Zoom call.
on this one here.
Yes.
But it really does become, like I never understood how Germany got wrapped up in hatred for Jews based on ethics and how vicious it all got. But I think I'm starting to see it now in America. And a lot of people would say, well, you should have seen it in 2016 too. But even so, it's even worse now.
Mhm.
This has been banged to death. I'm not banging the drum on this one, but between, the loss of Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss books that are getting canceled, whether or not that's valid, it doesn't really matter because
So
people are perceiving it as
how
a,
do
as
they do that? How
well,
do
the
they
thing is,
keep?
okay, so the thing is, I was talking to Jace about this and he was right. There are stereotypes in there that today, if we tried to pass them off, we'd never get it onto the printing press because an editor would stop it, a publisher would say no. So they're going back and looking at it and saying, well, we want it off the shelves. We don't want to sell it anymore. And people are getting riled up. But the thing I kind of concluded with Jace is, so I want you to go out and get, I don't know, pick a title from the 17th century and go pick it up down at Walden Books or order it on Amazon. Odds are it's not in print. Odds are it's been left behind in the annals of time. And the same thing is going to happen to everything we see here. Now,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't care one way or the other. I didn't see where it was all that bad. Maybe somebody needs to point it out to me. Jace used the example of the Chinaman with the chopsticks. And I explained to him, I remember that as a kid. That did not come across as racist. If anything, it was a caricature, so you definitely knew it was a guy from China.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I definitely saw his position, where looking at it in today's light, it would be considered racist. But I'm like, but it doesn't gel. And that's the difficulty. Like when someone who's, grown up on Dr. Seuss sees someone else say, "Oh, this is evil," and all your heroes were Nazis, that gets painful. And one might say, "Well, they got to face the truth." Well, no, the truth is they weren't Nazis. It was just the way that the era was.
Yeah.
It was part of the path to getting here. To get into where we are today, where you could say that's offensive, because there was a time when that was not offensive. And that doesn't mean everybody was a savage beast. It means as a society, we were in one place and we've definitely grown into a better place. But that better place doesn't mean that we have to go canceling things of the past. And in fact, I would contend that all that's going to happen is when the pendulum swings back, Hollywood and all these publishers are just going to put out the old stuff, just like they did with the Coca-Cola crap in the 90s, the new taste of Coke. Well, when that doesn't sell anymore and they're not doing so good, guess what? The return of classic Coke. They're going to do the same thing with all this stuff they're canceling. It might take 20, 30 years, but eventually you're going to see Disney go, returned, a historical landmark to be considered for all time, a lesson from mankind. And they'll be playing that Song of the South again. They'll be selling that, saying what a historical lesson it is. Where today they're going to tell you how offensive it is. It's got to be taken off the shelves. Mm-hmm. But they'll turn that around as soon as they need to sell something or make some money, or as soon as the social climate comes down to where they can control it again. I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff turned up, and there's a lot of painful wounds due to racism and sexism and religious intolerance. But I think there's a real danger of all those people who were injured by that overwhelming and becoming that same thing that they hate. I remember being part of the heavy metal scene, the glam scene, the glam rock. And all those people that I was growing up with, they're all in their 30s, 40s, and 50s now. And some of them have become like so, I don't know, they're becoming exactly what they hated. The people that want to censor the metal, they're now trying to censor the past. And it's like, don't you realize you just became the monster that you fought against as a rocker, as a shaker? And, Jesus called us the salt of the earth. And yet I don't think that's true anymore. We're not maintaining, number one, we're not following him the way we should, but we also don't maintain our own integrity. We allow ourselves to be manipulated and convinced and conned and changed. Like this could get me in trouble, but to where we don't even understand what a gender is anymore. It's become a complex, convoluted issue when really I don't think it ever should have been. But now that we're where we are, I don't know how you turn that back either. Or maybe you don't have to, because really it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're following, if you're dedicated to Christ, that you're following Jesus. You're muted.
Where are you going with all this?
I'm rambling. It's a God chat. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have a script. Yeah.
You are rambling, aren't you?
Well, unless anybody wants to join us, and we have included the link in the description and we can post it, I will continue to ramble until 9 o'clock. I've been thinking about God and my friends all day. Today I went and blocked dozens of my friends.
Okay, so we don't really...
Because I'm trying to clean up my social media presence to where I'm not getting enraged by people who say things that irritate me, because number one, it's not my right to tell them how to think, but I can't control myself. If I see someone come out and say brand A of cola is the best and I know brand B is better, I can't manage to shut my mouth and tell them they're wrong. So it's better for me not to be a part of that conversation, right? I mean, it's not hateful. It's not even anger. It's saying, brother, if you tell me one more time that brand A is better than brand B, I'm going to snap. So I am getting away from it before I.
No, I think I'm very proud of you for taking those steps. I know it was difficult, but I think that look, knowing where you want what,
Did you
why do
catch
you?
Rabbi Peter's teaching tonight?
I was listening to part of it, but I didn't catch it all. No.
Okay, keep talking. I'm going to wait till you're done. I just want to know if you listened to it.
Well, I was listening to some of it, not all. I couldn't hear it well because you had walked in the other room and like left me hanging in the kitchen. I was
Yeah.
listening, and then you walked down the hallway. No, I was just going to say is that I'm happy that you did what you did. I'm hoping it'll bring you some peace and will give you a renewed direction to what you really want to do.
Well,
What's close to
you
your
know
heart.
how pastors and rabbis, God will use them and drop a message on you that
Yeah,
you
you
wanted or
need.
needed.
Yeah.
Um, well, tonight he was talking about loving your neighbor when he started and how hard and difficult that can be,
Uh
uh,
huh.
especially when if you love your neighbor as yourself, it could be an issue because, like he was saying, and I could relate to this. Sometimes you step in the mirror and you go, "Man, I'm a mess. I look like crap. I'm fat. I'm old."
Yeah. Yeah.
If I love my neighbor like that, my neighbor don't want me loving them like I love myself because I love myself in a very critical manner. Um, but that's what it comes down to. And if I can't, the thing is, if I can't love you because we disagree so strongly, or just have the compassionate love that I want to have, I'd
Hmm.
rather love you from afar until you need me, and then you're going to be much more pliable. Anyways, we're not going to argue. You're going to be saying, "Can you help me?" And I'll be saying, "Sure," because that's how it always works with us. You know that.
Hmm.
We've done a lot of things in ministry, not to brag, because believe me, we're not that big of a shot or nothing. And it can tell you that when people are in need, that always wipes out differences. If your motive is to serve others like the Lord would have you do,
Hmm.
it's amazing what falls away when you actually get involved with people. You know, you might not like their
Hmm.
politics or the way they look or smell or
Right.
think, or but when there's help, just picture if
Hmm.
someone's drowning and you're the type of person like we are that we would want to save that person. It doesn't matter who they are, what they are, or what they've done.
Right.
You're going to try to save them. That's the point.
Hmm.
And I'm not talking spiritual born again save you right now type stuff. I'm just talking about human
No.
compassion. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I agree, and will have to listen to Rabbi Peter's stream later on tonight for
Yes, it's
sure.
very good. I love Rabbi Peter's stuff.
So Gotham put a thing about, um,
Hang on, I'm going to go over and paste. I found the Facebook so I could do this. Yes. Okay, now I'm over here.
oh,
There we go. So it says instead of talking things out with me, his move was just to block me. He knew. Oh, I think I missed a few things there. Okay, hang on. Yes, okay. I guess we can talk about this briefly because we all know he doesn't watch this show anyways. It's hard to hold back when you see them heading straight into a car or close to walking off
yeah.
a cliff.
Hmm.
Uh, Hard even more when you do and they bite your head off for it. That's true. Uh,
Hmm.
I had that happen with Skinny when I tried telling him that he was heading in a bad direction that was making him look foolish. This was before the doxing, yeah.
Hmm.
Instead of taking things out with me, his move was just to block me. He knew, I think, or hope deep inside that hang on, I'm messing this up. Deep inside, I had a point, but he wasn't wanting to hear it. So to kind of relate to you, brother, Guinea and I actually were talking in DMs behind the scenes during the beginning of all that drama. And at one point or another, and this is why I can't be trusted when I'm in a conflict. He posted something about, oh, look at these people trying to get clout off of me while I'm standing up for the Constitution. And I said something to the effect of, well, that's clout harvesting too. You're looking for clout by
Hmm.
saying you're standing up for the publishing rights of a creator. And I tried to make the point that we all do that. We all grandstand to get clout. That's what we all want. We all want some clout so
Hmm.
that when people listen to us, they don't go, he's an idiot. I don't care what he said. Unfortunately, that got me blocked too. And part of my rehabilitation is just to block back, because I don't want to see them in a stream that I can't respond to. I don't want to see what they have to say and not be able to comment back. It's just painful. So why bother? Okay, you block me, I'll block you back. It's no big deal. I will get over it. And I do know that God won't leave me orphaned. I have a wonderful wife. I have Jesus himself and a family, and new friends will crop up where old friends were, if that's what happens. Or maybe we reconcile down the road. But at least by being blocked, we're not going to continue to fight, because we're not going to see eye to eye. And with the situation there with the lolly, I think one of the biggest things is we're not talking about True Lolly. Okay, True Lolly is an animated thing. It's a cultural thing. I was again talking to my son about this, and I mean, this involves fashion and how girls dress in Japan. It's way beyond what we're bickering about.
Mm-hmm.
But the artwork in question isn't lolly; it's computer generated porn. And
Right.
the age of the models are what makes it really offensive. Not that porn is unoffensive, but in a secular world,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that's permissible, but this is where the right comes in. I know that it's not right, therefore I don't support it. I don't endorse it. And if it becomes an issue and it's a public issue, I'll gladly speak against it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not also something I'm going out there hunting for, because you will lose your life trying to take out everything that offends you in life. You just
Amen. Amen. But you happen to be around it. You weren't looking for it. You became aware of it because of the people that you were sort of hanging with.
Well, I
Correct?
became aware of it because somebody put out a video on it, and that was an area of contention too. But these reporting expose YouTube channels, uh, the one that pointed out all these issues with Preston Poulter, which included the lolly stuff, that's what they do. I don't know how to say that gently, but these shows don't succeed. Like, I can promise you, we've been making videos for 5, 10, 15 years. You don't succeed by being nice like this. If we really wanted to make it, it would be, just come out and do what they do. Pick out A, B, and C and pick those people to death and become a big, shock jock type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Should I hold that against DA and Vicky? Hell no. That's their decision. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
decide to do. And in the long run, I'm actually kind of grateful, because I wouldn't have known that there was a dark corner of a group of people that I was attached
Well,
to.
yeah,
I,
and you were
I didn't know
talking
what
with
was
them
happening.
regularly.
Right. I didn't know what was under that skin. I knew that
Mm-hmm.
they were kind of adult and racy, but I had no idea that there was basically what I consider to be porn with underage models.
Right.
3D
And
rendered, yes. Computer rendered, yes. It's not like they're real photographs, but it was enough to make my gut go, oh no, no, no,
yeah,
no.
it's just you literally, and you've always been like that when it comes to children. Like anything that would jeopardize a child morally, ethically, physically, you're gonna put your foot in down, and you're just gonna make a stink, and that's what you did. And I'm
Well,
really
it's kind
proud
of
that
funny.
you.
So I just want to add this, because this just proves who we are and how we work. My son, oh, he might have been 8 years old, had learned about a child molester, a fellow child who was molesting his sister. Put it that way. My son, because of the way I raised him, decided that he was going to go after him with a pizza knife. And if it wasn't for his uncle catching him, his life may have been mighty more complicated, because he was going to go take care of business. And that was just the way that we, as a family, always looked at it. If you're hurting someone innocent, the Tamulevich clan is going to get a little peaked up. Hey, Lorenzo.
Hi, Lorenzo.
Hey, I was trying to figure out if you were upset with me or something.
No, not at all. You mean about the DM thing?
You left the DM group, so I didn't know.
Yes.
I
Let
added
me
you back.
clarify.
If you can leave if you need to, but I
No,
thought
let
somebody
me just clarify. I just
blocked you
want
or
to make
something. Or
no. Let me tell you what happened there. Cheyenne really touched my heart when she pulled away, and I'm really trying to make peace. And one of the things is those DM groups, not you, because I'm still in a DM with you. But the DM groups are kind of dangerous.
Yeah, but
People
there's nothing. Well, wait a second. This hasn't ever come up in there, and it's not going to come up. We don't. Or what do you mean by dangerous?
So what I mean by dangerous is you don't know who's in them at all times.
Good.
And I didn't feel free to talk, so I didn't just leave yours. I left like a dozen of them.
Oh,
And
well,
hint, I'll probably be back.
I'm not going to be able to send out my link to my show if people keep leaving. Like,
Yeah, it's going to be harder.
So this is the thing. People make these drama videos, then other people that I don't even necessarily know about, and then they'll like go wake up in the morning and then people will be arguing, and then they leave my DM groups.
Yeah,
and it's destroying my show, and it's like there's nothing about, people don't care about talking about comic books anymore. I mean, this has happened several times.
No, I know. And this is the first time I've ever, actually, you guys are the first DM group I've ever been in, let alone leave. But I've got to slow down because the last week I drew 2 pages. Normally I do 2 pages a day. My heart and mind and soul has been corrupted. And you would say, well, why not blame DA and Vicky? But I'm really upset with Lamont. I'm upset that Lamont dared to sully a comic book group that was doing pretty good and was not kiddie. It was
now it's going to pair the comics gate.
It's gonna help ultimately in some sales, at least initially.
No, but my point is, it's going to because people made such a big fuss out of it. It's going to be a comics gate book.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I would not be surprised if that book never comes out, or at least not in the way that Lamont has planned it. Because if it comes out and it looks like child porn, you already, it's become such a big thing now. People are waiting for it just so they can.
I don't know anything about that because I haven't seen all the different.
I only saw
when I saw in the photo that I saw. I'm not even sure if it's in the book. And it's just, I don't know. I can't.
See, for me, man to man, I don't care if it was in the book. If I was to talk to Lamont, I would say, dude, as long as you're making that stuff, you and me have a problem. And that doesn't mean I'd go hit him and beat him. But what it means is there's an unresolved moral issue that I can't just overlook. Like I can overlook, for example, let's just keep this real. I can overlook Preston and his pegging. I can overlook people who like to look at, big boobed ladies and big asses and all that stuff. I can't even overlook some of this furry stuff with the Lola bunny there from Warner Brothers, But what I can't overlook is kids. So whenever, and now they can argue that Lamont didn't create kids, he didn't create teens, whatever. To my gut, when I looked right away, I knew it was wrong, and I knew why it was wrong. I wasn't sitting there going, is this a kid or not? I was like, nope.
My whole thing is that like this stuff doesn't involve me. I don't know enough about what what he's doing.
And it doesn't involve you. But
I've been dragged into it. Skinny blocked me over.
Yeah, you have had an unfortunate run, but that's because you're one of those. You are a comic book fan who gets involved. This didn't bother me as a comic book reader.
I try not to get. I wasn't going to get involved until.
No, but you know what I mean. You're kind of like an inside. You're an inside. You don't create comics, but you're definitely an insider. Comic book creators. You hang with a bunch of us. We stream.
But for some reason I got blocked and other people didn't. Well, no, Gotham Knight did though. For some reason,
that's entirely because
something happened.
Like,
Skinny just kind of ambushed Gotham Knight in one of my groups. And I'm like, we don't allow drama because Skinny told me, hey, I don't like drama in groups, and so I made a rule about drama. He's one of the people. There were some other people too, and it's like, okay, let's not get drama in there because it really doesn't help the comic books.
This really has hurt the whole overall momentum that was going, and for a time, Pocket Jack may see a little bit of a boost, but I think what's going to win the day is quality comics, and that's the end of it. So for me, I had to basically pull myself away because I'm not mature enough to just hold my tongue, but I am mature enough to know that I'm not mature enough. You know what I'm saying?
You get riled up way too easy. I
Yes,
posted something in the chat for you to post because I thought it would be appropriate to what I see from an outsider looking in, and not with the DMs, not Lorenzo's DMs or anything, but just this whole thing that's been happening with this lolly thingy mabopper
I
that's
see it.
been
I see
going
it.
on.
I see it.
But I just, as this is God chat. So I think that we have to, for me, I think looking at the situation through the way Jesus would look at it. And a lot of the stuff that's happening, Lorenzo, is just crap. It's not you. You did nothing wrong. It's just like, why do people have to attack other people? Why do they have to
Holy
bring
cow! Look.
people in?
Okay, wait a minute. I know you're in the middle of sharing something, but I just got to read that aloud because that's deep. And that
Yeah,
explains exactly what I did. And I didn't know this was a verse. But
I love
for the
Proverbs.
lack of wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no gospel, quarreling quiets down. And
Hmm.
that's all I'm doing. So, Lorenzo, when I left your group, notice I didn't leave your DM because I love you, bro. I love you like a brother loves a brother.
No, I love
But
you too.
I can't sit in those groups and like just
He
wait for
can't.
somebody to trigger me because I will get triggered. What's up, Gotham? Thanks for joining
Yeah,
us, brother.
just a minute. I think I have to reset myself. I'm getting
Yeah, I hear it.
feedback.
All right, come back
I'll
up,
be
Okay.
back.
back up.
I'm like, who the heck was that? That was Gotham.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
You know what?
I went and added to just to see if you were blocked. I thought somebody had blocked you, so I went to re-add you. I was figuring, oh, you were blocked, but then you ended up being added back, so you might
Yeah.
end up leaving then again. But
Well, or maybe I'll just
problem is one
quietly
person
sit there.
leaves and everybody leaves.
Lorenzo, I
These
didn't
groups
leave.
set up.
Yeah, no, and believe me, it really wasn't even. I didn't even think about it when I did your room. I was leaving all rooms, because really Cheyenne touches my heart. I love Cheyenne and her husband, and I had this like cool little thing with her making the comic book where she's in it, and I'm crushed that my friends have all gone awry.
But that has nothing to do with my group. So
It does in the sense that
so the thing is that this is the problem is everybody's just going to keep leaving. If one person leaves, then a whole bunch of people leave. It's stupid.
well, in the
And
sense
it's
of your show,
it's
I hope
like
nobody leaves. I hope nobody leaves on account of me. But in the sense of your show, I'll still be there on Thursday nights. I
well,
don't.
how am I going to send I can't even like there's a limit to how many links I can send out without Twitter
With
considering
Twitter,
it spam.
right,
And I
right.
can't like practically like I've got to go send it out in like 2 link groups on Twitter and one on StreamYard and then not StreamYard but Discord, which I don't know if you use Discord, but I've got a
I
private
do.
server.
You know what? I should join your server, and you should join
Yeah, well,
mine
that
so
would
we can
be
send a link
easier to
out.
send out the link then. The problem is that some people don't use Discord, so
Yeah, I know it makes it more of a
overwhelming.
pain. All I can tell you is that for me, my mental health. When I read the point I was saying about Cheyenne is when I read how she shut down her group so that she could like calm down her mind. I was like, that's a great idea. I
Well,
need to do the same thing.
it's
At least I need a little bit of time to recenter myself because like it was really disturbing to me. Lamont disturbed me, and then the defense he got disturbed me because I'm all for creative freedom, and if you can get it printed legally, amen.
what.
But that's a vastly different world than you and I defending it. And they say, well, we're not defending
Okay.
it,
Did they?
but I don't even
Okay.
want to be adjacent to defending it. I don't
Well,
even want
yeah.
to be
Well,
perceived
here's
as
here's the
that.
thing. I'm not. I'm going to make it clear. I'm not defending. I don't know. I don't. I don't want to examine that image or anything. In detail.
Right.
It looks like
See, I
nothing.
actually did examine it because I was trying to find the answer, the truth. And the deeper I looked, I was like, okay, these are teen computer models. They're not women computer models. And then the worst thing, and I never recommend this, but I zoomed in on body parts so I could inspect how he built them. And I was like, these are little girls. These not little girls.
So
These are little teens. So I'm not saying you need to do that, but I'm saying from one friend to another, my opinion is that those were young teenagers.
okay. So let's say for the sake of argument, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about these computer models or anything. But
Right.
let's say that's right because
Well, even if I'm wrong,
that's
go ahead
what
and say it.
Dean was saying. But I mean, Dean and Vicky said they were, but the
I
way
was looking
that
at that.
then again, I don't want to like overly criticize Dean and Vicky, but did they really approach it in like a loving fashion,
No, of
or
course they did.
or the love for their brother, or was this
No. Let's look at that for a second.
or have they been kind of like maybe they were like so, or do you think that they might have some sort of Preston derangements?
Well, no, let's look at
And
that.
I want to be very, very careful.
I know, but let's dissect that for a second. So for the first thing, I don't know. I don't believe. Well, I don't know Vicky's religious, beliefs, but I thought Da is Muslim, right? But either way,
people say he's Jewish. I don't know if he really is.
well, he might be,
or if they're just like it's part of an edgy joke,
But
I
either way,
think it's a joke.
I know, but either way, the thing is, they're not. They don't advertise as a Christian expose show, so I don't expect anything from them like that. Now, the only problem is, as a Christian, should I be watching that? Not whether or not they should be producing it, because it's a secular world, and that means
I'm expected to be like an expert on these matters. And again, I want to be very, very careful. I don't. Oh gosh, they might.
But
hopefully they don't block me over this. But it's just like this whole thing is like, okay, yeah. I think they decided that they think that they found some stuff out about Preston that was like that they didn't think he's trustworthy and all. And I don't know all the details. So I think they made multiple videos about him. Maybe I'm over exaggerating.
Well, wait a minute. Let's just take it to the extreme. Let's say that they think that Preston is a prick, and they're going after him every single time he takes a poop. Okay, let's just say that's how they feel.
Yeah,
that in itself doesn't preclude them from being my friends. It doesn't stoop into anything that I believe is pornographic with young teen girls. What it does do, though, is okay, so like I shouldn't watch that because it's gossipers, just like the Proverbs just said. I shouldn't be listening to gossipers.
Well, you can put it this way: it's not. It's they might be presenting it like it's news, but it's really it's like a lot of commentary. So it's gonna be like those news, those
it's like Fox News. It's Fox News for
kind of even inadvertently they might be putting a spin on that.
Lorenzo, it's Fox News for Comicscape, bro.
Yeah, or Rachel Maddow or whatever,
But you know what? Here's the other part. When I talk to now, I don't know Da. Actually, I don't think I've ever had 2 words with the man. I have talked to Vicky a couple of times, and she's always been very cool with me. She gave me a straight up review of a sample I sent her of the comics, and
If you talk to
the
them,
thing is. But the thing is,
or to them together off air,
but I mean,
they're perfectly friendly.
Hey guys,
what?
Listen, I'm trying to follow, but you're both over talking each other. Maybe we should do like no, it's fine. Maybe we should do like a little beanbag thing like I did in my youth group. Like if you were holding the beanbag, you could talk.
Yeah.
I don't have a beanbag, so I'll shut up.
I know, I'm just saying, I'm trying to follow the conversation.
My only point is that how they behave on the show is different from if you talk to them off air. They're perfectly cool, mellow.
Yeah. Well, I
use some kind of over the top inflammatory rhetoric on it.
I kind of take the show the same way. Like I take so Preston Poulter has produced several books. I own a few of them. None of them line up with my morals. But I take it with a grain of salt because I'm more interested in supporting my friend, the creator of that comic. So that's why I bought Preston Poulter Comics. Now, I don't particularly care for the stories, but I supported them. It's kind of the same thing with Vicky. Like I listened to her when she was on the writing show, and I migrated over to the Da and Vicky show there. And to be honest, I kind of like Da as a host. He's a quirky, funny guy.
Yeah.
Don't know him. Like I said, I still don't know the guy. He probably would hate my guts. I love comics. I make comics, and I'm a goof. But
I think you guys would get along fine.
I don't know. I'm just speculating. But what I'm trying to say is, like if they were coming out and saying, "We are just good people who want to tell you that Preston Poulter is evil," I would be like, "Yeah, there's a problem." But they don't really what they're all about is exactly where Preston Poulter has gone. They're about exposing Comicsgate, and you got Preston over there with the big TM going, "Don't forget who owns it." So I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of
Is
like
this
watching,
when the
it's like
SCWs are
watching
called
two
things
trains hit each
problematic
other.
or something?
It's like watching two trains hit each other. So I'm like, well, if Preston wants to be the big TM guy and they want to take down the CG, it's almost an inevitable thing, I just wish.
Maybe I don't know. I think it has to do with. I think it has to do with something happened where they just felt they couldn't trust him anymore, and it just.
Without a doubt, I agree with you. Something behind the scenes must have happened, but it's none of my business. But they definitely, they both definitely seem to, both meaning both groups, seem to be kind of really upset with each other. And
I'm just like even talking about this. I don't know how many people are going to block me, or especially
well,
if you're
look at it
mentioning
this
the
way:
Preston derangement
God
syndrome.
Chat. It is God Chat.
Maybe they really do need to talk about him every week. But it just seems like I
but
don't know what I've.
But you know how you deal with that, bro? This is how you deal with it. Either you don't watch it, or if you watch it because you just have to, you don't comment on it. Or if you comment on it, make sure you stand behind what you say.
Well, here's the deal: is from what I can tell, it seems like they've like kind of fixated on trying to like keep exposing him and like kind of take him down, even though they're not trying to.
So
they're not trying to get him like to be like.
But if that is the case, it's then a question of, okay, maybe he deserves to be taken down. I don't know the behind the scenes stuff. I don't know.
Or we could just read comic books and then just back which comic books we like, because I don't really.
But then that falls into that's their right. They have a right to say and do what they want.
Well,
just like
we don't have a right to threaten to shoot somebody. Again,
well, that was kind of a stupid statement. I think he.
Okay, Dean admits that. Yeah.
Although I have to tell you, he wasn't the first person I've ever heard say all pedos should be shot. I mean,
wait a second. Is this kind of like a virtual pedo? Because he's not. We have no like. Well, so he's like attracted to
you and me. But does pedo mean? Wait a minute. Does pedo mean molester, or does it mean someone attracted to underage?
But we're not even sure that there's not even proof that he's. There's proof that he's attracted to some sort of
no. First, we have to define what pedo is. Yes, ma'am.
So Joe is out the Facebook and he's saying hi, and
hey Joe.
Listen, anybody coming in and listening, they probably have no idea like what you guys are talking about.
Right,
you might want to like just kind of put the conversation into context.
Well, the context right now is if we're going to talk about a situation where someone called someone else a pedo, a pedophile, we have to define that. So when I first heard that, I thought it meant molester, and that's a heavy charge. A child molester is physical contact and actually abusing a child physically. What I've learned and kind of makes more sense is a pedophile is someone who's attracted to minors or young children, or however you want to. I guess prepubescent is the actual term, but basically youngins.
But those characters had boobs.
Big, but go look at their. Well, I don't want to tell anybody go look at them, but my problem was when I saw their hips, their eyes, their cheek and bone structure. I said those are not women, and then to prove it, I went and looked at the software itself. And I was disturbed. I was like, well.
Oh, so you look at the software because I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I actually downloaded it. I actually used to use Poser when it first came out because it was a joke. It was like, wow, this is cool. You can move humanoids around in a 3D world. But then it got like, now they have these people who use it for, it's going to become an art form if it isn't already. And Lamont's renderings are not like the prime renderings of the app. But I don't, and I'm not even trying to insult them. What I'm saying is there are real artists using the app.
Is he just buying like a?
I think what he's doing is buying models and then customizing them.
He's custom. Oh, wait a second. He's customizing them?
I think that's what he's doing. I don't think he's generating his own models, but I think that's the way they all do it. I think they buy.
But once he customizes them, are they still the same age, or could they be older? Or
well, you know what? Here's the thing, and
I don't know anything about this.
This is the thing about the story that I'm hearing. Okay, the story says the girl is 17 in the script, as far as I remember, but
yeah.
So the thing is it's really not even what John Lamont is intending. It's how it affected me spiritually, physically, emotionally. When I looked at it, I felt like, oh my God, those are freaking middle schoolers. That's wrong. Like my gut instantly said no, which is why I am so strong on it. It's kind of like when you see a video on YouTube of someone kicking a dog or hurting a child and you go, whoa, if I was there, I would, kick the crap out of that guy.
Yeah.
It was one of those gut instincts. So you may not have the same instinct, and that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're a bad person.
But
for me, I guess it's important to say this too. I was sexually abused when I was 15 and 16, heading into my 17th year, maybe even, by a married couple. And anybody who heard the story would go, well, heck, that's pretty cool. You got to have sex at that age and blah, blah, blah. Yes, from that point of view, it was awesome. But I can tell you that I've dragged the emotional and social scars of that all my life. My wife deals with it because I have just this weird little way about me that I won't go into details because it's not perverted or anything like that, but she can tell you I'm not quite right. And it is all tied to how it changed my perception of sex and intimacy and love. Now, these are just computer renderings.
Yeah.
But the people behind those computer renderings, the people who draw those kind of porns, I believe are suffering just as much as me. There's something in them that's making that pour out of them.
So my concern,
I don't think it should be allowed to flow freely.
And I'm really,
John needs help.
I'm really sorry to hear about all this.
Oh, it's okay. I'm way over it. But I'm just saying one of the things that makes it sensitive is I've been there. I know what it means to be a 15-year-old and going, hey, this ain't so bad. Leave it alone. But I also know what it means to live with that 20 years later.
So, so I'm wondering, just it seems like the worst thing you could do with somebody who's into this sort of imagery would be to ostracize, which is what Dean was saying, because
you are probably right though. But what that means is he needs to get with people who, in my opinion, this is just my opinion again, but he needs to get with people who won't judge him, that can help him heal through that, whatever that is. And, that's my opinion. I don't think anybody should be, I don't know. Hang on. Let me see something here. We have Mikachu HD. All right. I'm going to put this person in. I'm going to have the button on the remove button if they do something. Hopefully it's just a friend. Let's see.
Very well could be testified.
Hey guys, I'm from Chicago.
Hey, I recognize that voice. How are you?
He testified.
I'm Mikachu. Clearly, don't you see my avatar?
I do, and welcome to the show, Mikachu.
Your voice gives you away, testify.
I'm clearly Mikachu. Gotham Knight.
I love it. Oh my God.
Well, thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry. It's too funny.
But I mean, so just to kind of tie up the little thing about the DMs groups. I love you, bro. I probably won't leave your group again. It's just I'm very cautious right now, and it's
I understand.
Right now, my heart is like hamburger. Like I love you guys, and when
I love hamburger,
I do too. Actually, did you see that? Somebody asked what my favorite animal was, or what your favorite animal is on Twitter. So I wrote hamburger. My favorite animal is hamburger.
Oh my word.
So my point about this is I just don't want the guy committing suicide. I'm curious if
I don't either.
Happy because of the comics he makes.
What's kind of scary is we're not hearing him defend himself, and I have been told that was for legal reasons. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, this is man to man or world to man or whatever you want to call it. But Lorenzo, if my artwork and my book was making a fuss and you were standing up for it and you were getting slammed like Skinny was, guess who would be right up in front before you? Well, testify first because I'd throw him out in for me. But then I would get up.
Who's testifying? I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
Look at you.
But I mean, I would get up and take those bullets for you because you don't deserve that crap. Skinny doesn't deserve that crap. Preston wants that crap. But in my opinion, no matter what a lawyer tells you, Lamont should have stood up and said, "Don't say that to Skinny. This is my problem, not his. He's just saying I have a right to create it." Lamont never did any of that. So to me, I'm like, if you're going to play that game, I can't talk because my lawyer said not to, then you shouldn't have brought it out on the playing field,
Yeah.
Bring what out? I'm sorry.
I like
bring
to
that out
play
on
the
the play.
field.
I mean, he shouldn't have been putting that crap on DeviantArt. And if he was making a book, keep that artwork off the air until you get it ready.
So is this lawyer because of the doxing or what? I don't understand because I thought it was Skinny who was doxed, not Lamont.
No, but Lamont should have stood up for Skinny. And actually, I heard
Oh,
Lamont.
yeah.
To me, that's all crap. Okay. Like if my friends, if Gotham, if even Testify, if you were taking heat because of something I did and you were defending it, I would be up there defending you. I wouldn't be sitting back.
Because that. Yeah,
Well, that Testify guy would probably defend you, but I'm Mikachu. I'd throw you under the bus quickly.
Well, there you go.
Well, Mikachu has told me I can't make comics and that I'm stupid and that I want to sleep with him. So I don't know what happened after that. I stopped listening to him after that. I'm like, I want to what?
I just got hungry. I was very hungry. Gotta catch them all.
But really, so to keep it focused on God, Lorenzo, my hope is that everything kind of starts healing and maybe Lamont finds a way. I'm not even saying he can't make porn. I'm just saying, dude, learn how to render a woman. If you think that's what a woman looks like,
in the right direction.
Listen, if he thinks that's what women look like, we need to take him out. I'm sorry, honey. I have to go to a club one night next week. We got to find John and take him out and show him what women over 18 look like.
Oh, I can't even. No, that's good.
I'm teasing. It's the internet. We'll just mail him pictures.
So Chris, you're going to go be looking up the porn, aren't you?
No. But see, okay, so honestly, in the God sense, let's talk about that for a second. When I met Diana, I was a porn freak. Not addicted. I didn't have to have it like on my sunglasses while I walked around. But I thought porn was perfectly fine and everything was hunky-dory. It almost destroyed my marriage. Within 3 years, her and I were really at odds over it. And then I literally had to do like some self-cleansing, if you want to call it that. I had to turn to God, had to say, strip my mind of this, get me clean, get me out of this, get me right with my marriage. And that was that. Now, when I go into Twitter and stuff, often I'll mute stuff that's too obscene for me because I don't want to see that. I won't report like tits of the day or whatever they have up, but I try not to see it. I'm like, okay, that's up. I'll mute it because I don't want to get sucked back into that porn world. So really, people say, well, porn is harmless. Yeah, if you can handle it, it is. But if you've had an issue with it, it can become a pariah. And I can tell you one thing, porn could kill my relationship with my wife. If out of all the things other than cheating, which would be significantly worse, porn is an adjacent offense to her because that would be cheating in her mind. And that was one of the issues we had when we were first married. I was like, what's the big deal?
Well, it makes the woman feel very unattractive. It's like, okay, here's this man who says he loves me and he's with me, and yet
he needs to watch a TV to have sex.
Right.
Yeah.
And the weirdest part about it all was I was oblivious to it. And she came into it and she was like the Christian wife, and she kind of just gently kept reminding me, maybe we should read this little scripture here again. And oh shit, adultery in your heart. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. I'm not.
I wasn't that sweet about it.
Well, I can't throw you under the bus, my love.
But I can, because I was not. I was like, absolutely not. This is not going to last. Nope. And then he even tried me to get into it. I'm like, I don't want it. This is stupid.
Yep.
It's actually comical when you look at it. It's like, It's kind of funny,
But now think about drugs and then think about porn.
I only wish a woman would talk to me.
Yeah. Honey, think about drugs and porn. It's the same thing. If it was
Mhm.
porn or if it had been heroin, I would have brought it to you and said, "Hey, try some of this. It's not so bad.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
addicted to it. You'll love it."
Mhm.
So it was the same idea, and that's the problem with porn. It can be like a drug. It can
Mhm.
Mhm.
consume you. It can f you up.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
not entirely unharmful. It's kind of like alcohol.
It's like
If
anything, gaming, video gaming. I don't know, tweeting or twittering or whatever you flipping call it. Like you could get so sucked into that everything else in your
Yeah.
life just goes away. And to
I,
me, that's an issue. Not the
I'm
next,
gonna
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to change my avatar and name because I actually have something to say on this.
oh
Uh-oh.
okay,
no.
brother.
Should I be should I be
Oh
leery?
man, he's cool. He can be crazy, but he's cool.
Yeah, he was on my show. I think was it last week
Like
or the
he's
week
not one of
before?
the guys that'll make me cry, right?
He might, but if he does, it's because he feels that he needs to because you deserve it or something's wrong. But he wouldn't do it like maliciously, I don't think. See, he's transforming. He's like the Hulk. Look, he just changed. He just changed. We got it live on the stream. We watched him transform like
I'll
Bruce
be
Banner
honest. I have never understood how people get hooked onto it.
onto porn.
Yeah, on the porn
Yeah,
thing, it's one of those things I've never understood, but I understand it's a thing.
yep,
I show. What's funny is this: my wife and me, with our relationship we have, I get all this stupid crap on my Twitter feed that pops up,
yep.
and I go, look at this crap they send me, and it's just you're like, why do they do this? It's just it drives me up the wall. I don't get it, but I get there's some people out there that like it, so I'm just going, whatever. But it most of it I have it all muted too. But some of it sometimes filters in, and some of it I just laugh at. My God, look at that! That's freaking insanity right there.
Well, I honestly
Like
think
Nasser's
porn.
feet. I'm Nasser
Yes,
wearing those socks. Nasser's foot fetish material he's making now.
Yes.
but I think porn is kind of very complex. Some people are just attracted to it because they're like, oh, I like the way this person looks, and then other people are being fed in like, oh, I wish I could do that, or I remember when I did that, or I remember a girl that I liked like that. Like, there's other things that lead into it, and they use that
Well,
to
there's some
appease
stuff I've
those
seen in
needs.
porn before that I wish I could do.
Right. Well, I mean, and in a way, I think what happens is that becomes like a way to appease that desire, and it becomes addictive like that, even though it's not the real thing. It's kind of like, heroin isn't the real thing, but it's a super high the first time you do it, and then you chase it for the rest of the time until it kills you or you get off of it.
I've never done an illegal drug in my life.
Oh, I've done a few, but never heroin.
I
I'm always fearful of needles, but I did
Yeah.
get into Percocets when I was in surgery, after surgery.
I
And
literally you've heard about because I had my back reconstructed, right?
well, no, I've only heard that you really are paralyzed. I don't know
I
anything about you
oh,
physically.
keep that up. But I got a 9-inch rod in my back from
I'm sure
back
you
surgery.
do.
Dang.
And I'm not joking. I was on pain management for about a year and a half, and I just finally got tired of being interrogated every time I had to go get my damn prescriptions refilled. Overnight, I
Right.
just go. I stopped.
Yep.
I turned it
Oh
off.
wow.
I don't have the withdrawal thing, but I know people do, and I understand it. And it could catch you real quickly. And it's just weird. You just got to have the mindset to be able to filter that crap out of you.
Although that could be your gift, brother.
Well, there's some people I think
I'm
would
different
have
than a lot of people.
physical-
Yep.
Like some people, I think have like some sort of physiological response where they can. Can't people like die from withdrawal, like from some
Oh,
of that stuff?
certainly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If
Yeah.
you like
Yeah,
what I did
wow.
overnight, some people overnight, if you would have done what I was on the 10/3, the whatever the high ones.
Wow.
Yep.
You know, I was getting 120 of those a month, plus the muscle relaxer, plus the whatever, and I just finally got tired of it all. I go, I'm just taking Tylenol. I started taking Tylenol, arthritis, and I just go, that's it, done, turned it off. Some people, they would literally die overnight from the withdrawal
Yeah,
process.
they would. Remember the lockdowns, how essential services were open and liquor stores? Because alcohol withdrawal would have been a crisis in this country within a week or two. If alcoholics couldn't get their
they
alcohol.
tried that back in the 30s, and it didn't work so well for
That's
them.
right. And look what they learned. They're like, only police, firemen, and alcoholics can go out. When the lockdown first came up, remember? It was the dumbest thing. But yeah, withdrawal can certainly kill you. I want to testify something, and I'm serious. I don't know. Are you actually paralyzed, or do you have like just a back injury that sucks really bad?
I had reconstructive back surgery. I can walk. Just go with the facade of me being in a wheelchair with no legs.
Gotcha. I'll keep playing with that all day long, but I didn't know, and I didn't want to think that and then not know. You know what I mean?
Do you want to know how that all got brought up?
Sure.
It was asked because somebody asked me, "Go, you're paralyzed?" I go, "No," but I said, after I had my back surgery, they gave me a wheelchair for 2, and I used it for 2 weeks. It was to help get around for 2 weeks. That was it. Ever since then, everybody's labeled me in a wheelchair, so I've gone with it.
Well, so it works. I thought you were My wife and I were talking about you the other day because I was telling, like, yeah, testify. I used to hate the guy, and now I kind of like him. But she's like, well, what do you know about him? I'm like, I think he's paraplegic or paralyzed. I don't know, but like that's the perception that I have because of all that. Like,
I am fully functional.
Awesome, cool. Well, okay, it's nice to know. I can stop praying for your legs to return.
Just for some reason, people like to make fun of me about it. I don't know why, but
That's
I can
awful.
laugh. I can laugh at myself though. It's
You
fun.
know, people are mean. They can be so mean.
I know. I
Especially
cry every
me.
night. It's not fair. What can these people do to me?
It's ironically funny coming from you though, because you play hard. So like you roll with the punches and you play hard. It's never boring with Testify. You'll have to watch the Trash Compactor show sometime.
Beware though, because it's not for everybody.
It's not God Chat. Yeah, and it does go R, but my wife is a big girl.
So
It's ironically funny coming from you though, because you play hard. I don't know, honey. I stopped talking 10 minutes ago. I still hear me too. It's never. Diana,
yeah.
talk.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
Hi.
You said so, and then you stopped, and I thought you were listening to the echo.
Yeah, I was. I was trying to figure out where it was coming from. I'm like, where is that noise coming from? Oh my god. Well, see, this is, seriously, right? It's after 9. This is what happens to me after 9. Okay.
It's only
I
6:13
start to
though.
fall apart. No, it's 9 o'clock. 9:13.
It's 6.
He's not on the
Oh,
East Coast, baby. He's in
I know.
Chicago.
I was just gonna say he said he was in Chicago. So I just wanted to. I was just gonna say good night. Now I'm gonna wait. Chris is gonna yell at me. What do
No,
you
I am
mean?
not going to yell at you.
So I'm gonna head out, gentlemen. It's been
Well, no,
amazing.
you really can't yet, though.
Why?
Now, because it's God Chat, you have to give us something godly, like a scripture or a word of love and compassion, encouragement.
Why do you do this to me? And
Because you're my.
why am I the only one on video? I just realized that.
Oh, I am sorry about that. Hang on.
Thank you.
I can only manifest myself in the comic.
Here, wait. I'll put my hair down.
Oh dear Lord.
I can only manifest myself in your dimension as like a cartoon character.
Yeah, I bet you're a very handsome person, even if you are green all the time. Like,
Hang on, I'm just getting a look. I wanted to see this one. Wow, you're like ham-fisted.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, wow.
You said good night, gentlemen, but you forgot to say good night to Lorenzo.
I know.
Hey,
Listen.
we're equal rights here. Lorenzo has to be included in everyone. Sleestackians matter too.
Okay. You guys
I know, I'm
stop
being
picking on
ridiculous.
Lorenzo. Stop picking
I'm
on
not.
Lorenzo.
I was defending
I will never.
Sleestackians.
I will never stop picking on
I was
Lorenzo
gonna
after the
say-
meanness. He is a mean person. He says mean things to me daily, and he hurts my feelings.
That's true.
It is true.
Does he really? Lorenzo?
On Thursday
you
nights,
do?
he'll tell him you're not coming in my stream, and people would be begging. George will be like, "Come on, give him a chance." Lorenzo's like, "No, he's not. No."
Why? Why?
Then I eventually give him the link, but he's given up by then.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think it's almost a scripted comedy because watching it can be hilarious because you'll have I would say one of us could testify hasn't used me yet, but I'll campaign for him too. But people start going, "Come on, Lorenzo, what's it going to take to get testify in here?" And he's like, "No." It's funny.
He has a friend that has a issue with me, and I get it. But I was on the last time, and I thought I was pretty nice to him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was mean
that's
to me.
What it was. I didn't realize that's a legit beef.
Well, I
thought you guys were playing.
well, sort of, but it's Daniel. He can only hear, and he's deaf in one ear, and so I think the other ear is like a little amplified or something, and so I think one time or maybe a couple times a long time ago we Testify and I argued.
It might have been loud.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Yeah.
yeah, it certainly was loud.
Well, yeah, that's unfortunate.
That was months ago.
Yeah, I'm surprised though because he's a nice guy. He'll probably forgive you eventually.
I don't know.
Daniel's like kind of like the co-host because he's there like.
Yeah, he's always there.
Almost every single time. So he's.
In fact, it's almost like you have like a featured artist, like Johnny Carson, David Letterman. They had like those featured musicians. You got like this artist who's always there playing the hits.
He's our Doc Severinsen.
Yeah. I like him. I'm surprised that he got mad at you, but I like that kid. And I call him a kid. He's probably 50 years old too. I don't know.
I just like to show up, cause chaos, and leave, and see what happens.
Well, I have to say, and you don't have to say a word about it, but I've seen you like and say a couple of things that lead me to believe that you have some sort of faith of your own. And I don't want to call you to the carpet on it, but I think that's pretty cool. I
am Catholic. I just don't preach it.
And you don't have to. They like to say everybody's supposed to be out there doing the Great Commission, but the Great Commission is really how you treat others, and they don't realize that.
Yeah, there's people going to like countries where like Christianity, where like Christians are being persecuted. There's like evangelicals that are going there, and they're, oh boy.
Well, they get persecuted in my neighborhood. Nobody wants to hear that. Don't come on my door knocking around. Well, those are Jehovah's.
I always wonder about this. There could be causing like more persecution when they're like going to like say maybe like I don't know. I want to be careful. Maybe like Afghanistan or something. I don't think they allow.
So like the way I try to reconcile those things though is like it couldn't happen if God wouldn't allow it. But on the other hand, when I see those things happen, sometimes, not all the time. But I see and hear of stuff that make me go, wow, man, you can't be out there representing Christ. Not like that. But that's more about me. I don't necessarily know what God's doing.
Yeah, there. Well, yeah, I think they're following the gospel pretty literally going to
some things like
bed.
What's that?
Your wife wants to go to bed.
Go ahead, cut loose, babe.
I have been
cut loose, babe.
You guys are worse than women. Oh my God. I am going to find a virtual beanbag. And the next show, we're going to toss it. And if you have your virtual beanbag, you can talk.
You know what? I could easily.
And I'll set a timer. You could get 5 minutes, and then we'll.
All right. So no, what we'll do is I will teach you how to monitor the StreamYard like I'm doing right now. And you can control the mics. You'll be able to mute everybody, and then we can use like a right.
Yeah, but all you have to do is hit the unmute button. It's real simple.
Yeah, I can handle that. I think I can. I can.
I think he means they could unmute themselves, but you could still have some semblance of like a control.
They wouldn't know they would see that they're muted, right? Does it show them?
Well, if testifies and he's going to tell everybody, that's one thing you got to know. Testify will go, hey, everybody, if you unmute yourself, she can't stop you from doing that, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing too hard at that, but I would love to see you just melt.
Oh my God. So I have to just tell you something. One of my coworkers, she is from Australia, but she has been living here stateside for 7 years. She gave us a kindergarten worksheet problem today, and it's about sequencing. And she sent it to all of us, and she said, "Do you know what the pattern is?" Here we have myself, my clinical director, another BCBA, who all have like degrees on top of degrees, and we can't figure it out. It's a kindergarten worksheet in Australia. It's awful. And so she's texting me, and I sent it to my daughter to see if she could figure it out. And basically, it is 4 numbers. The top row is 6184. The bottom row right underneath is 27, and it says, "What comes next? Continue the pattern." So we thought, my daughter said, okay, it's probably a 1 and then a 4, because each column, I don't think you guys can see this, right?
No, we can't, but go on.
I wish I could share. Oh, there it is. See?
Yeah.
So each column adds up to 8. So when you get to the 8 and the 4, I said 1 and then 4. And they're like, nope, that's not the pattern. Do you guys know what it is?
Put it up again.
Wait, hold on. Whoa.
It's like some Rain Man type stuff.
Kindergarten work.
No,
Well, you're
it's not
right.
Rain Man.
Well,
It's just looking at it the right way. There's
It's
something.
a kindergarten worksheet. It's a pattern. It's about patterns. It's
Well,
like,
you put it back down, and I was looking at it.
okay, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Well,
Wait,
that's
I gotta
not
find
true.
it now.
Unless I failed then.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
All
wait.
right. So
Can you see it? Yeah, I don't want to have a.
what did she think it was going to be?
I thought Larissa came up with that it should be 2714, because if you look at the columns, 6 plus 2 is 8, 7 plus 1 is 8, 8 plus 0. I mean 0 4, not 1. Sorry, 0 4. So it would be 8 and then 8.
No, the end would be 04, right?
Yeah, but she's saying no, that's not it.
Okay.
It's like we have to think like a 5-year-old. They don't add or subtract. So just think super simple. Oh my God, it's going to drive us all crazy. Anyways, sorry, I thought and then I posted something encouraging for you to share. So you told me to say something encouraging.
Oh, I
And
thought you were
I
going
did.
to narrate it, but let me get it.
Well, I can read it. Would you like me to read it? I can read it.
Yeah, well, let me paste it, and then we can read along.
Oh, that's just
Yeah,
like
so
school, huh?
then I just have to go here and here and here and do this, and then boom. Wait,
Okay.
boom. No, it didn't go.
I
Oh,
don't
there
know.
it goes.
You're stuck with just me. I don't see anybody now. Where did everybody go? Did they all leave? They all left.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, there they are. Okay. Like they
We
all
lost
ran away.
Testify. Bro, if you're still out there, we love you. Hope to talk to you next time.
Testify's
ahead,
like,
Diana.
I'm out of here. Oh my God.
He kind of pops in and kind of
Ma-
pops out.
Yeah,
He's a
that's
great.
all right.
He's a great guest star. He
He
cameos.
does it on his own show.
He actually does. So, honey,
maybe
what's this
that's why.
that you had us paste?
Oh, may the God of hope fill you all with joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So that's what I'm leaving you all with. Now it is 9:23. Make
All
sure
right,
we tell
but
Terry
we're
that I stayed late again.
we're
I'm
closing the
leaving you
show. I'm leaving when you do. It's supposed to
Okay.
go till 9 and it's God chat, so I don't want to push it like into dire straits because we'll just devolve again into drama. But
Yeah.
Have you
Wednesday
talked about
night we are planning on doing Hero Shack Chronicles. Thursday night, Lorenzo does something.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
night is your Hero Shack Chronicles? I missed
It's
it.
always Wednesday night at 8
Okay,
now.
Wednesday night, and then the night after that, Thursday night, 8 Eastern, is the Sleesakians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
show.
I guess I can kind of announce this now. Jace, my son, are talking about starting an art stream. We haven't determined a day. He's got to work out a few technical bugs. But basically, we're going to open up a stream where we're both drawing. And if you want to join in, you can join in and draw with us. And hopefully we can get someone like my wife, or I don't know, maybe my wife, to run the StreamYard so she can occasionally rotate the screens and keep the conversation monitored so that we can focus on the artwork. But the idea would be like, maybe we can get, I don't know his name now. Why?
Jace,
No.
Terry.
The guy, the Lorenzo's co-host.
Oh, Daniel?
Yeah, maybe we can get Daniel to join in once or twice or a dozen times, however he wants to do it. I don't know when it would be, but it definitely wouldn't be Wednesday or Thursday, or maybe not even Monday. Maybe we could do it Tuesday or Friday. I don't know. We'd find a night, and it's just basically so we can share technique, stories, how to put together a comic book the way we're doing it, or just Jace isn't really. He's not doing comics. He's doing kind of like pinups. And he's in art college now, so it's a different thing. But he still wants to be able to access and draw, and he actually has an Instagram page we'll be promoting soon. Well, he's doing right now. He's doing characters. Like the last one I saw that was really awesome was his Yosemite Sam from a few years ago. He's kind of filling up the Instagram portfolio slowly.
That's such a cool character. I think they took away his guns.
Yeah, they did, man, didn't they?
What the heck is he? What's that's like his half the character. The other half's his mustache.
Mm-hmm. So here's one thing we know for sure, and this is tried and true. Okay, equality and all that is wonderful, but when you start sanitizing cultures and people, you get more bland. It's like food. You take away salt and pepper and seasoning, and everything's going to start tasting blah. In society, the more they cut away, but I mean, in society, the more they cut away, the more generic everything becomes. Like you're going to end up like when they finally get done with superheroes, you're going to end up with no women can have boobs and no men can have wide shoulders, and there can be no beta and alpha males, and there has to only be feminine. They'll have rules if they have their way to where everything will be the same. And it'll be homogenized, and it'll all be a dull gray tan color, and we'll have to just deal with it or break through with creativity.
Did you ever watch those late night? Try to sit through one of those late night talk shows?
I've watched several late night talk shows.
I mean, recently, because.
Go ahead, honey. I know you're dying.
Night, guys.
Night. God bless you, baby.
God bless y'all too.
Okay.
I'm saying like you watch like Jimmy Kimmel or whoever.
I don't watch Kimmel. I have watched some of the other guy years ago. I used to always watch. Fallon. I watched a little bit.
Yeah, I like Fallon. Seems like a nice guy.
He probably is. I used to watch
impersonations like.
But I used to watch Jay. I used to watch Dave, Letterman. And,
I was a Letterman fan.
I really loved Conan, but Conan was kind of weird. He didn't get the right play on NBC or something. I didn't follow him to the cable network.
Yeah, he's one of the few. So I occasionally watch clips of him and Jimmy Fallon. But my opinion was like some of these shows like Jimmy Kimmel, I think tries to be so politically correct that.
Well, Kimmel's kind of like one of those jokes in the wind, like he was such a dark, comedian who was willing to do almost anything to get a laugh. And I mean, sexist or racist, he didn't care. And now he's kind of like, virtual signal champion boy or something.
Yeah. And it's like.
And I can understand people can change, and he may feel that, his past was bad, but he's really turned into like he's really a vocal leftist, liberal.
Yeah, I can kind of understand. Like earlier, I was just trying so hard not to offend people, and I realized the more I was trying not to offend people, the more I was probably going to be offensive, like with the press derangement syndrome and like.
Well, I'm expecting to get canceled anytime on Twitter. I mean, I did just announce that I believe that all the transsexuals are men trying to take over women's territory.
I don't think people plot it out that way. Like
they don't believe that, but I'm like, you're being told that you must accept these men as women. How does that feel? And that's not going to be popular, but they still haven't canceled me.
Yeah, don't other cultures have like they have their kind of like they think that there's more than. They might have like 3 or 4 genders or something. I'm not commenting on the scientific.
Well, for me, it's gender is interesting because for me, if you want to consider yourself a woman, I have no problem with that, right? The thing is, if you want me to consider you a woman, and you were transformed into a woman from a man, I honestly and morally think there should be a separate distinction.
Well, that's what
Like,
I mean. Is some societies have
yeah. So
distinctions
that's what I would
between
do. I would have
besides
3 or
just
4.
I'm kind of surprised that because it seems like a lot of the argument is just like over like this terminology, and then
Well, and it's
like
funny because you know what? I've met transgenders, and I don't get bothered by them. I don't freak out and
yeah.
oh my gosh, you're a fake woman or you're a fake man. But it's one of those issues when people say, "Are you for or against it?" Well, I'm not really against it, but I'm also not really for it. It's one of those issues where I'm like, that's a heavy issue. I can't really judge a person on that. It's not something I would do.
Yeah,
But that's really, how do you judge somebody on that? You don't know what they're going through. But on the other hand,
it just seems like some other cultures, like I think the Hawaiians have like their own, like the Native Hawaiians have their own. What is it? I can't remember the word, but
their own islands.
No. It's a word that means that's kind of like trans woman.
I know. I'm only playing. I don't know what the word is, but
it's like the someone who might be born in a way that oh gosh, I gotta be careful.
Biblically,
people might say is that they look male, but they feel that there's something else, and then they got a different word for it than male.
Well, biblically, that like the eunuchs must be some sort of alternative gender, even though they didn't announce it. I mean, these were guys who were either born with a defect of some sort that they weren't really male, or maybe they were like not a functional male. Maybe they were one of those hermaphrodites. Is that what they call them when they have both genitals? But eunuchs may have had their penis cut off.
I think it's like
But I mean, they basically eunuchs were unfit technically for the standard relationship, so they ended up serving kings so they could take care of their harems because they weren't considered a sexual threat with the king's wives.
Like castrados, or like somebody chopped it off when they're chopped off their.
Well, I guess in history there have been cases of people chopping off their own wanker, but
I think I think it was so that they would like be able to sing those high notes.
Oh, maybe I don't know about that. I'm not going to try either. I don't mind not hitting the high note.
yeah. I think that it's like I thought maybe the Kings did that to people.
Yeah, they might. You got a point there because music fidelity is important.
It's not that important.
All right, so Diana just got up here and she gave me the finger, the nice finger, the pointy finger, like here. So I have to go.
Okay.
But it was great talking to you guys. I will definitely check in on your show tomorrow, bro. Or not tomorrow, Thursday.
The Thursday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
That's right. And Wednesday night, if you guys aren't busy, we'll see you then. Hey, Gotham.
Yeah.
Bro, thanks for hanging tonight, man.
Yeah.
All right. So God bless you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.